Hello, welcome to CLSP Politics. Sean Briscoe speaking. I'm on the road again a little bit, and thought I'd continue my program based on what the Texas Democratic Party chair said, Kendall Scudder. This is the This is, I guess, the third video I've done on what he had to say at the Collin County Democratic Party meeting. This one is about this one's about what is a healthy Democratic Party. Uh, I've got quite a bit of insight in this because I know what an unhealthy Democratic Party looks like in Texas, and he goes into he talks about a lot of good things, a lot of things that I've been waiting to hear for a very long time. Um, he says his number one priority is to be a good chief primary administrator. The primary is the election we have on Super Tuesday, first Tuesday in March. Texas has that their primary at the same time as a whole lot of other states. That's why they call it Super Tuesday. So he is really, really, really working hard to make sure that our primary, which is conducted by the Democratic Party of Texas and operated by the Texas Democratic Party at the county level, but the state level helps them facilitate the county level stuff. And he goes into quite a bit of detail on that. Real quick, like and subscribe if you haven't. If you wish to support this channel, as you know, I'm not monetized by YouTube. We're at PayPal at CLSP Politics. Number two is he's not going to play favorites in primaries, and I'm going to talk a little bit about this because this was a real issue for in my career working in campaigns. So I'm going to go back to 2008 a little bit. And I mean, needless to say, if anyone's watched my channel, I was obviously Obama. Well, the state and Dallas County Democratic Party at the time was Hillary, 100%. Like so much so that uh, that Hillary ran their campaign out of the county offices. So we were in a primary, right? So you have two candidates working, so when you have the party leadership putting their finger on the scale, it's not cool, and it's not democratic. Uh, but that's what they did in '08. In fact, the executive director of the time, and all these people are long gone, uh, tried to shut down Obama Dallas 3 different times. Keep in mind, we were the largest organized campaign in Dallas County history. We knocked on 500,000 doors with volunteers. So anyone who's ever done paid canvassing and volunteer canvassing, you do the same amount of work on my level, and you get about 10% of the ROI as you do with a paid field program, because you can't fire bad canvassers if they're volunteers. You can't you can do training, but they're there to work 2 hours a week, maybe. And so you lose consistency. Anyway, it's just all the same amount of work for our level, and you get 1/10 the return. So when I say it was a volunteer run field program that knocked on 400,000 doors, it's worth 4 million doors as far as the amount of work I did. So we were the largest volunteer field program in Dallas County history. Nobody's come up with 6,000 volunteers since then, and they tried to shut us down. We expanded the Democratic primary in Dallas County, and back in the day, you could buy the voter reg for Dallas County for $20 on. They burn it onto a CD for you. Now it's about $3,000. So, and you only get a limited amount of history. I got data all the way back to 1975. So, or well, the late 70s. I could look all the way back. So what I did was like, all right, of those that are still registered in Dallas County, how many of them are currently participating in Democratic primaries ever? And I could only find about just shy of 50,000 people who had ever participated in a Democratic primary in Dallas County. So after the March 4th primary in 2008, that number went to 300,000. There are elected officials in Dallas that were not happy we expanded the primary universe when we did, because they knew exactly where the votes were and they could get through their primary no problem, because they knew who was participating and who wasn't. It's how you maintain control and power and blah blah blah. So that was a huge shift. But don't worry, the county party at the time, and I found out this was not unique to just Dallas County; it was all over the country. Um, the the entrenched consultant class uh, in cities all over the country refused to reach out to the '08 universe for a primary because they would rather line their pockets than actually do their job. And that's my personal opinion, only because I had a front row seat and I watched it happen in 2010. So um, I've actually run the data in Dallas County back looking at '08 to 2010. I knew what the win number for those state house seats in Dallas County was in an off presidential cycle. Just with in the vast majority of those seats, just with the ID of primary voters from '08, we could win. We could have won those seats. But you can't win if you don't reach out to them. So you can see how that unhealthy behavior that was real dominant over a decade ago, that this guy is really trying to unwind that, and I love it. I love that that's what he's trying to do, because as a consultant and an operator and a campaign, operations guy, it just it sucks when you're fighting the Republicans ahead of you and you're getting attacked by the Democrats behind you. It's unnecessary, and the voters are going to decide anyway. So, yeah, I'm all about this. This when he talks about not playing favorites in primaries, this is why I'm putting this in my show, because it's insanely important. He also talks about recruiting in races that need candidates. So another thing that the party used to do is they used to if they didn't like the candidate, or let's just say this candidate wasn't let's say a candidate wasn't hiring the consultants that the party wanted them to hire, that the party was kind of bankrolling anyway. Not saying they got kickbacks. I'm not saying there was anything illegal going on, but there was definitely there was preferential treatment for sure. 100% that. 100%. So what would happen is the party would then recruit and primary a candidate in a seat that was already had a candidate, already been working on the race, and then the party would actually go in, find a candidate, a bankrolled candidate. Oh, usually, I mean, they would move candidates in to state house seats. I watched it with my own eyes in '06 happen to one of my candidates. Um, and then they would basically bash your candidate. And you gotta understand, especially in '06, the primary universe was this big. It was super tiny. So, and that's what they used to do. I had a front row seat on that as well. So, when he talks about, not picking sides, or really, he's talking about not picking sides, running a good primary, and only recruiting in seats where needs. So he also talks about, everyone's kind of freaking out because, oh, who do we got for lieutenant governor and governor and AG and railroad commissioner? Which, by the way, a lot of people don't know this. The railroad commissioner is the most powerful. If you're talking about land controlled by an elected office, is the most powerful elected office in Texas, because you would think, oh, railroad commissioner, railroads, oil and gas as well. It should be oil and gas and rail commissioner. But they don't put oil and gas on that title because then people would actually pay attention to it. Go Google that. It'll really open your eyes. So anyway, this video is playing before the next one, so this will be part one, and then part two will be Kendall Scudder actually talking about what I'm kind of talking about. So hope you guys enjoy. I really love this new Texas Democratic Party chair, and I've already seen, and Evan Hunt, who I did a video the other day, you've got candidates coming because they see that there's going to be real leadership this time, and it's drawing out these great candidates, and we're lucky to have all of these guys working the way they are. um, Thank you for viewing, watching the show. Like and subscribe if you wish to support this channel. PayPal, super $5, $10, all of it counts. Helps me maintain my subscriptions. And none of this is. I mean, it's. I'm very good at making my dollar go very far because you kind of have to as a Texas Democrat. But anyway, hope everyone has a great day. And I got one more after this one that's going to go into more aspects of what Kendall Scudder has in store for the Texas Democratic Party. And it's probably the most important video because it talks about the impact we're going to have over the country and where we're heading in about 6 years. So look forward to that one. All right. Talk to you guys later.